Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that nothing about your intelligence has changed. You still work hard. You still have good ideas. You still care about people. Yet somehow, someone else gets the promotion. Someone else gets the opportunity. Someone else becomes the leader everyone follows. You sit there wondering, what do they have that I don't? The painful truth is that success isn't determined only by talent. Many brilliant people spend their entire lives waiting to be noticed. Meanwhile, others with average skills build successful businesses, lead teams, inspire millions, and leave a lasting legacy. Why? Because they understand something that most people never learn. People don't simply follow knowledge. They follow confidence. They follow trust. They follow influence. Influence isn't about controlling people. It isn't about manipulation. Real influence is the ability to inspire belief, create respect, and motivate others to take action. The question is, have you ever wondered why some people walk into a room and instantly command attention, while others struggle to be heard? Today's story explores that question. Not to teach you how to control people, but to teach you how to become someone whose presence naturally earns respect. A fictional but relatable story. Meet Arjun, a quiet young man from a middle-class family. He believed one thing his entire life. If I work hard, success will come. So he studied late into the night. He never missed deadlines. He helped his colleagues. He avoided arguments. Everyone called him a good person. But every year, someone else received the promotion. One day, the company announced a new team leader. Arjun smiled politely. Inside, his heart shattered. The new leader had joined only 2 years earlier. He wasn't smarter. He wasn't more experienced. Yet everyone listened when he spoke. People asked for his advice. Managers trusted him with important projects. Arjun couldn't understand. That night, he sat alone wondering, what am I doing wrong? Weeks later, an elderly retired executive visited the office to mentor young employees. After listening to Arjun's story, the mentor smiled. He asked one simple question. When you enter a meeting, do people notice your ideas? Or do they simply notice your silence? Arjun didn't answer, because deep inside, he already knew. He had spent years becoming valuable, but almost no time becoming visible. The mentor continued, working hard creates skill, but influence creates opportunity. Those words changed everything. From that day forward, Arjun didn't stop working hard. He simply learned another skill. He started listening more carefully, speaking more clearly, helping without expecting credit, keeping promises, staying calm under pressure, giving others confidence instead of seeking approval. Slowly, people began asking for his opinion. Managers trusted him with bigger responsibilities. New employees naturally followed his example. Nothing magical happened overnight. His influence grew because his character became impossible to ignore. Years later, when he finally became director of the company, people didn't celebrate because he held authority. They celebrated because they trusted him. That is the difference between power given by a title and influence earned through character. Why influence matters in life and business. Many people believe influence only matters to politicians or CEOs. That's a mistake. Influence affects every part of life. Parents influence children. Teachers influence students. Doctors influence patients. Business owners influence customers. Friends influence each other's choices. Even without realizing it, every conversation changes someone's thinking. Think about history. Some leaders changed nations not because they had the biggest armies, but because they inspired millions to believe in a shared vision. Think about business. Many successful entrepreneurs didn't begin with enormous wealth. They began with the ability to earn trust from investors, employees, and customers. Trust opened doors that money alone never could. Now think about your own life. Have you ever ignored advice from someone because you didn't trust them? Probably. Have you ever accepted advice from someone you deeply respected, even when it was difficult? Almost certainly. That's influence. People rarely follow information alone. They follow the person delivering it. This is why two people can say the exact same words, yet receive completely different reactions. One is ignored. The other inspires action. The difference isn't always knowledge. Often, it's credibility. And credibility is built through consistent behavior over time. The first lesson. Most people spend years trying to become more impressive. Far fewer spend time becoming more trustworthy. Real influence isn't about appearing powerful. It's about becoming dependable. The people who make the greatest impact aren't always the loudest in the room. They're often the ones who remain calm during chaos, keep their promises, admit mistakes, and make others feel heard. Influence is not something you demand. It is something others choose to give you. And that choice is earned one conversation, one decision, and one act of integrity at a time. So before asking, how can I get people to respect me? Ask a better question. Am I becoming the kind of person worthy of respect? Because in the end, titles fade. Money comes and goes. Fame disappears. But the influence built on honesty, competence, and character can last a lifetime. Imagine holding a beautiful glass in your hands. It takes time to make. It is carefully shaped, polished, and protected. But one careless moment, one careless drop, and it shatters. Respect works the same way. You can spend years building your reputation, yet lose it in a single moment of arrogance, dishonesty, or broken trust. Many people believe influence comes from speaking louder, showing more authority, or proving they are always right. In reality, those behaviors often create fear, not respect. Fear disappears the moment authority disappears. Respect remains long after the title is gone. That is why truly influential people focus on their character before their image. Mistake number 1. Talking more than listening. Rahul had become the manager of a growing company. Excited about his new position, he began making every decision himself. In every meeting, he interrupted people before they finished speaking. When someone suggested a different idea, Rahul immediately explained why his own plan was better. For a while, everyone stayed quiet. Not because they agreed, but because they felt unheard. Slowly, the best employees stopped sharing ideas. Innovation disappeared. The team's performance declined. Rahul thought his employees lacked motivation. The truth was different. People rarely give their best ideas to someone who refuses to listen. Great leaders understand something simple. Listening is not weakness. Listening tells people, your thoughts matter. When people feel respected, they naturally become more engaged. Influence grows when people believe their voice has value. Mistake number 2. Chasing recognition instead of results. Many people work hard only when someone is watching. They want praise before progress, credit before contribution, recognition before responsibility. But the most respected people often do the opposite. They quietly solve problems. They help others succeed. They keep promises even when nobody notices. Ironically, those who stop chasing attention often become the people everyone notices. Think about the people you admire most. Is it because they constantly tell you how great they are? Or because their actions speak louder than their words? Real influence is built through consistent actions, not constant self-promotion. Mistake number 3. Letting ego make decisions. Success can be dangerous. Not because success changes people, but because it sometimes convinces people they no longer need advice. History is filled with talented leaders who failed after believing they were always right. The moment someone believes they have nothing left to learn, growth begins to disappear. The strongest leaders remain curious. They ask questions. They admit mistakes. They change their minds when presented with better evidence. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is caring more about finding the right answer than proving you were right. People naturally trust leaders who value truth over pride. Ethical leadership is built on trust. Leadership is often misunderstood. Many people think leadership means giving orders. Real leadership means creating confidence. Imagine two captains standing before their teams during a crisis. The first captain panics. He blames everyone else. His voice shakes with fear. His team immediately loses confidence. Now imagine another captain. He doesn't pretend everything is perfect. Instead, he calmly says, "This challenge is real, but together, we'll solve it." Nothing about the situation changed. Only the leader's attitude changed. Yet that single difference completely transforms how people respond. Influence isn't about removing fear. It's about giving people hope despite fear. Historical example: Mahatma Gandhi. History offers remarkable examples of influence built without force. Mahatma Gandhi led one of the largest non-violent movements in history. He didn't rely on wealth or military power. His greatest strength was consistency. He lived according to the principles he encouraged others to follow. That consistency built extraordinary trust. Millions believed in him because his actions matched his words. Whether people agree with every aspect of his philosophy or not, his life demonstrates an enduring lesson. People follow leaders whose behavior reflects their beliefs. Integrity creates influence that force cannot sustain. Business example: Satya Nadella. When Satya Nadella became CEO of Microsoft, the company faced intense competition and internal challenges. Instead of leading through fear or ego, he encouraged collaboration, learning, and empathy. He promoted a learn-it-all culture instead of a know-it-all culture. Employees became more willing to share ideas. Teams worked together more effectively. Innovation accelerated. The lesson is powerful. People perform better when leaders create psychological safety rather than constant pressure. Influence grows where people feel trusted. Strategy without manipulation. Some people believe strategy automatically means manipulation. It doesn't. Ethical strategy simply means thinking before acting. Imagine playing a game of chess. A skilled player doesn't move randomly. Every move has a purpose. Life works similarly. Before speaking, think. Before reacting, pause. Before making promises, consider whether you can truly keep them. Strategic thinking protects relationships because it reduces emotional decisions. Wise people understand that every action creates consequences. The question isn't, "Can I win this moment?" The better question is, will this decision strengthen trust over the long term? Long-term influence always beats short-term victories. The lesson. By the end of his first year as a leader, Rahul finally realized something. His team didn't need a boss who always had the answers. They needed someone who created an environment where everyone could contribute. He started asking more questions. He admitted mistakes. He praised others publicly. He accepted responsibility when things went wrong. Slowly, something incredible happened. The office became more energetic. People volunteered new ideas. Problems were solved faster. Not because Rahul became more powerful, but because he became more trustworthy. And that's the secret many people miss. Influence is never about making people feel smaller. It's about helping them become better. The strongest leaders don't create followers who depend on them. They create confident people who can eventually lead others. By now, Arjun had learned something that changed his life forever. Influence isn't a gift you're born with. It isn't reserved for celebrities, CEOs, or politicians. It's a skill that grows through thousands of small decisions made every day. The question is, how do ordinary people begin building that kind of influence? It starts with habits. Not dramatic changes. Simple habits repeated consistently. Habit number 1, keep your word. Imagine a friend who promises to meet you at 5 p.m. but arrives late every single time. Eventually, you stop believing their promises. Now imagine someone else. If they say they'll call, they call. If they promise to finish a task, it gets done. Over time, their words become valuable because people know they can be trusted. Trust is built when your actions consistently match your promises. If you can't keep a promise, don't make it. People may forget what you said, but they rarely forget whether they could rely on you. Habit number 2. Stay calm under pressure. Anyone can appear confident when life is easy. Real character appears during difficult moments. Think about a pilot flying through severe turbulence. Passengers don't expect the pilot to eliminate the storm. They expect the pilot to remain calm and make good decisions. Life is no different. Whether you're leading a team, supporting your family, or running a business, your ability to stay composed during setbacks reassures the people around you. Calmness is contagious. Panic is contagious too. Choose carefully which one you spread. Habit number 3, give credit generously. Some people believe that praising others makes them look weaker. The opposite is true. Confident people aren't afraid to celebrate someone else's success. A leader who says, "This achievement belongs to my team," earns more respect than one who takes all the credit. Recognition creates loyalty. People naturally support those who genuinely appreciate their efforts. Influence grows when people feel valued rather than used. Habit number 4, keep learning. The world changes every day. New technology appears. Industries evolve. Skills become outdated. The people who remain influential are those who never stop learning. Read books. Ask questions. Listen to people with different experiences. Accept constructive criticism without becoming defensive. Every lesson you learn today prepares you for tomorrow's opportunities. Knowledge attracts opportunities, but humility allows knowledge to grow. Habit number 5, serve before you lead. One afternoon, Arjun noticed a new employee struggling with a complicated project. Nobody asked him to help. He wasn't responsible for training anyone. Yet he quietly sat beside the young employee and explained everything patiently. Months later, that employee became one of the company's highest performers. Years later, he would tell everyone, "Arjun was the first person who believed in me." That's influence. Not because Arjun demanded loyalty, because he earned it through kindness. The greatest leaders understand that leadership begins with service. When you make other people stronger, they naturally trust you. Influence is a marathon, not a shortcut. Today's world often rewards instant attention. Social media can make popularity appear overnight. But attention and influence are not the same thing. Attention can disappear tomorrow. Real influence survives because it's built on character rather than trends. Think about the teachers who changed your life. The mentor who believed in you. The parent who sacrificed for your future. The coach who refused to let you quit. Years may pass, but you still remember them. Why? Not because they were famous. Because they made you a better person. That is the highest form of influence. The final lesson. At the end of his career, Arjun was invited to speak to a room full of young professionals. Someone asked him, "What's the biggest secret behind your success?" The audience expected him to mention intelligence, education, money, connections. Instead, he smiled and said, "Success began the day I stopped asking how to impress people and started asking how to serve them." The room became silent. Because everyone realized they had spent years chasing recognition. Very few had spent time becoming worthy of it. Influence isn't about wearing expensive clothes. It isn't about having the loudest voice. It isn't about controlling others. Real influence begins when your actions consistently reflect honesty, courage, humility, and responsibility. Titles may open a door. Character decides whether people invite you back. Money can buy attention. Integrity earns trust. Power can force obedience. Respect must always be earned. So the next time you enter a room, don't ask, "How can I make people admire me?" Ask something far more powerful. "How can I leave this place better than I found it?" Because the people who changed the world aren't remembered for how much power they collected. They're remembered for how many lives they positively influenced. And perhaps the greatest victory in life isn't becoming the most powerful person in the room. It's becoming the person others trust when life becomes difficult. That kind of influence can never be taken away. YouTube subscribe CTA 300 words. If this story made you stop and think, remember this. Knowledge only changes your life when you choose to act on it. Every great leader, entrepreneur, teacher, or role model started as an ordinary person who decided to improve one day at a time. You don't need to become perfect overnight. Focus on one habit, one conversation, and one decision that reflects the kind of person you want to be. If you enjoyed this video, please support the channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing. It helps more people discover these ideas and encourages us to create more videos on leadership, personal growth, mindset, productivity, and timeless lessons from some of the world's most influential books. Most importantly, don't just watch these videos. Apply what you learn. Read regularly, think deeply, treat people with respect, keep your promises, and keep growing. Small actions, repeated consistently, create extraordinary results over time. I'd also love to hear from you. Which habit do you think builds the strongest influence, keeping your word, staying calm under pressure, listening well, or serving others first? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience might inspire someone else who reads it. Thank you for spending your time here today. Your attention is valuable, and I'm grateful you chose to invest it in learning and self-improvement.